Okay, well, I didn't tell the phone to record. It just decided to record on its own, so I guess I have to do this now. What the fuck was that? Um, I guess this will be like a kind of an improv thing. I thought about writing down like a like a script or something. I don't know. For some reason, these kind of videos are real popular. I've seen them on YouTube. People just sit in front of their phone or they're in their car and they talk about stuff and they'll talk for half an hour and it gets thousands of views. I don't really give a shit about the views per se. I figure I always reiterate this stuff in my head. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be a good video. And then I don't record it. I don't do anything. So I've got topics on my mind, so I'm going to start with this one. Because I figured it'd be like a heavy hitter, right? Growing up white in the ghetto. My experience. What was it like? Okay, well, the short version is shit, right? But it's shit for everyone. It don't matter if you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic. The ghetto just sucks dick. All right? Anybody born in the ghetto, their fucking main objective is to get the fuck out of there. Everybody wants to go to LA. Well, I don't know, because people worship Hollywood, but that's fucking something else. Um, but my experience, what was my experience growing up in the ghetto? All right. I grew up specifically in the St. Louis area. Fuck St. Louis. I don't give a shit. Specifically Ferguson. That's my hometown. Fuck Ferguson. That's also where the Mike Brown shit went down, which was also bullshit. All right. The whole media spew of, oh, nothing bad, he didn't do nothing wrong. Shut the fuck up. More than likely, he did do something wrong. I don't know. I'm just going off of the fact that shit happens every day. Someone gets shot in St. Louis every day. And it's usually because someone couldn't control themselves. It's ego, it's emotion, you know. You're always looking for someone else to blame. Oh, it's the cops, or it's this political party, or it's this particular group of people. No, it's you. You, the individual. You are the fucking problem. I don't give a shit what you look like. I don't give a shit where you're from. Judge not unless you be judged. You're pointing the finger because you don't know how to fucking judge yourself first, right? I'm going off on a tangent here, but that's the point. I need to make a video about this too. Is you don't judge other people until you judge yourself. It's not judge not lest ye be judged. Like, oh, don't judge people or you're gonna go to hell. No, it's judge not unless that word is incorrect. Lest we don't use that right. It doesn't mean or else. It means unless. So judge not unless you be judged, so that you can help other people. You judge yourself to correct yourself. Then you judge other people, not to condemn, but to correct, to uplift, and tell them, hey, look, I fixed myself like this. Now let me help you do it. Right? Judging is not a bad thing. For whatever reason, the modern day context is just uh, judges judgment's bad. You're trying to hurt me. No, I'm trying to help you. All right. What's being hurt is your ego because you're weak. You're a bitch. Uh, Back to the main topic. Growing up in the ghetto. All right. So I was born in Illinois. My mother left my father. They broke up. She met my stepdad. He lived in St. Louis, specifically Ferguson, which is kind of an older town. There's a lot of century homes and shit. Uh, Actually, I grew up in kind of a century home, almost a century home. It had a coal chute. That's how old it was. It had a chute for coal, right? In fact, that house was actually only a block away from the police station where the Mike Brown riots started. My stepdad was in that house holding a shotgun. We weren't there, but he was, and my grandma was, and he was ready to, like, for anything. He was like, all right, if they come on the property, they're dead, kind of shit. Um, but yeah, I was born in Illinois, but I lived in the Ferguson area since I was like 2 or 3, right? Um, and then I moved out of St. Louis when it was 2019. It's 2024 right now, so that was 5 years ago. So when I was 22, right? So I lived there for 20 years of my life. So there it is. 20 years experience. I guess school would be the main thing, right? What's school like in the ghetto? Um, it's just bullshit. It's school's bullshit all around, but it's just a different flavor, right? And you would think me being white, technically the minority in that area, because majority it's like 70% black. Like depending on where you go, uh, uh, I guess in like the Ferguson area, it might be 60-40, 60% black, 40% white, or maybe 50-50. But then if you go to places like Airport or Delwood, or them places, it's almost 100% black. Like there was a kid, all the teachers were black, all the students were black, except that one white kid. And I was like, shit, and I thought I had it bad. Damn, you stick out like a sore thumb. Uh, uh, but in school, you think you'd get picked on being white. It's not really. It ain't really about your race if you don't make it about it, right? If someone else makes it about it, you just kind of you go somewhere else, and then nothing will happen, you know. I was the quiet one. Probably, if there was a competition, I would have been the most likely to be the school shooter because I fucking hate people. I don't give it. And that's part of St. Louis and growing up in the ghetto and St. Louis. I genuinely don't like people. I would not hesitate to blow you all up. Anyone, black, white, man, woman, you're dead. That's just where I'm at. Uh, no one really picked on me. I don't think people were scared of me. It was just like, if you're quiet, you don't make noise, you don't bring attention to yourself, you know, nothing happens to you. No one really tried to fuck with me. And a couple of people kind of try to make like a smart joke or something, but then nothing happens, right? Um, the closest thing I got to a fight maybe was I was doing an after school activity. It was like Kind Club, right? Kids in Nature's Defense. You know, you just I don't even know what the fuck it really was. I thought it was supposed to be about gardening, but it was just kind of a little bit of everything. But as like a volunteer service, we went around the building picking up the trash and the recyclables. And the after school kids, you know, the kids who got in trouble, they have to stay an extra hour or whatever. We're in this one classroom, and me and this other kid are going around picking up the recyclables. Walk by the, you know, after school kids, and this one kid comes out. He's a bit shorter than me, whatever. I don't remember how it went down. I didn't say anything to him, but he just like walked up and like grabbed me by my scruff and like pulling towards me like he was gonna do something. He was looking at me and I was like, "You gonna punch me or kiss me?" I didn't say that, but I was thinking like, "What the fuck is happening?" He just kind of looked at me like, and then walked away. So I don't know what happened. It's just kind of like, "What the fuck?" I don't know him. He don't know me, but he just grabbed me randomly and did that. And then we were. This was okay. So this was middle school. This would have been when I was like what 12, 13, some shit like that. Probably 13. And then the other kid I was with, he was like, "What was that?" I'm like, "I don't know." Weird. Um, but that would probably be the worst thing that happened in middle school, at least. My friend, on the other hand, he was white. He and I knew each other since kindergarten, right? This is how it was. He got fucked with because he stood out. He ran his mouth. He did stupid shit like tapping girls on their ass. If you want to get jumped, yeah, do stupid shit. Uh, he got jumped going to like soccer practice or something, and one had a camera and was recording it like kind of like a YOLO moment. The other one was trying to beat him up and shit. It's stupid. It's just general high school shit. I'm sure that happens in white suburbanite neighborhoods. Probably stupid shit probably happens more like that than in the suburbanite type of scenario because you're weak, That's another topic. Is I think suburbanites are weak. You're pussies because you haven't suffered. If you grow up in the ghetto, you've suffered something, right? Just simply being there is suffering because it's shit. Um, yeah, for the most part, school wasn't too bad. But the real problem comes from just the general atmosphere of the ghetto. And what is that? It's just rot. It's something that sinks into the soul, and it's part of why I'm fucking just almost death worshiping because I just want people to fucking suffer. I don't want them necessarily to die, but if you don't fucking act right, then you deserve to die, right? You get beat the fuck up, you learn something, right? I never got beat up. Well, I got punched a few times, but I never got beat up like in a fight or some shit. But I had to beat up my little brother because he was a chubby little white kid acting like he's some fucking rap star, like do something, egging me on about something. I would have been 15. He was 7 or 8. Yeah, 8. I'm a depressed teenager. I hate life. I hate everything. I hate everyone. Uh, he's egging me on about something, just telling me to do something, trying to piss me off. So I just beat his ass. Just beat the shit out of him, just aim for his stomach, go order, 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 like fucking some anime shit. And he's like, oh, stop it. I'm like, oh, you want me to stop? So I just kept doing it because I wanted you to leave me alone, but you did. So now you're asking me to leave you alone, so I'm just going to keep beating your ass. But he learned. Never did it again. One of the top students in his class. All because I helped. Because mommy never beat his ass, daddy never beat his ass. I did. Because I had to. Right? Now that he knows what pain felt like, he fucking, knew better. He knew what was waiting. Like, if he fucked around, he was going to get fucked up. So, but back to the main topic. Just the general atmosphere of rot in the ghetto. I mean, what's the what am I trying to say? It's alcoholism, drug abuse. Uh, Everybody always looking for a way to come up some shit. Like it's like someone always owes someone something. Or you have something I don't. Well, you need to give it to me because I deserve it. It's ego. It's what it is. People don't want to. People don't want to try to earn something for themselves. They exist in this loop of I'm suffering, so there it's for someone. It's someone else's fault. Someone owes me some shit, right? And because they're been so infatuated with their ego, they can no longer empathize with other people. So it's always just, you owe me something, give it to me, right? So, dude, the poor, oh my God, the poor stealing from the poor. What happened to fucking Robin Hood? Poor people are supposed to steal from rich people because rich people got shit. Why the fuck are poor people stealing from each other? This happened, all right? I'm going to cover this right now. Watch this. When my mom got on Section 8 to move out of, I don't know why she did this. We were living in that century home. My step-grandma owned it. My stepdad lived there too, so we moved in there. But we moved out when I was like, 12, 13 or some shit. So around the same time as middle school. Moved a few blocks down to another street, which is closer to Kinloch. And Kinloch is it's weird. It's a piece of shit, but nobody lives there. So it's actually kind of beautiful because it's nature. You got all these different towns around Kinloch that are like 2,000 or 20,000, 25,000 populace. You get to Kinloch only 300. Because everything's run down. There's nothing but trees. I'll move there. Property's probably cheap. But it's just a piece of shit. People go there to do drugs and shit. So she got on Section 8 to move out. I don't know why. Probably to be independent. You're not really independent if you're dependent on the fucking government. Um, we move into this house. It's a bit of a yard. We're not crammed in with a lot of these fucking almost row house type scenarios. You know, some houses are only like 15 feet apart from each other. You got just enough room between the houses for the blacktop driveway, and that's it. It's too close, right? It's You might as well not even have the fucking yard. You might as well just be living in a multi-story apartment complex where everyone around you just screaming at each other. But we moved into that house, and our neighbors, right, they had several kids. One of those kids befriended my little brother. So one day he comes over to play video games and hang out, right? And I'm in the living room doing my homework. My little brother and that kid, his name was Reggie, they're in the bedroom adjacent to the living room. My little brother gets up to go to the bathroom. Reggie closes the bedroom door. I'm like, why did he do that? Why does he want privacy? This ain't even his house. Um, so my little brother comes back from the bathroom. They play for a while again. And it's time for him to leave. All right. Before he leaves, I get up, go put my homework away. I always put shit in the same area. I'm like that with almost everything. My keys are gone. Like my house keys. I'm like, where the fuck are my keys? I'm looking around. I'm like, do you have my keys, Reggie? No. My mom asked him, like, are you sure you don't have his keys? And the answer's still no. So she asks him, can I search your pockets? Searches his back pocket. There's the fucking key. They were robbers, man. They robbed other people who lived on the same street as them, like straight up, like next door. They robbed people because they threw they're like college kids or some shit. They threw a party. Everybody got drunk, passed out. Them fucking people robbed the college kids while everyone was passed out drunk. So this goes back to the ego and the vanity shit. Just because someone lives somewhere else than you live over there, oh, you must got something. You got something I don't. I need that. Why, like, we're living on Section 8. It's a single mom with 2 kids. What does she have that you don't? I don't fucking know. And then these fucking kids have the gall to come to the house after that incident and ask. It's Reggie again asking if he can use the fucking the bike pump because his tires were flat. It's like, you tried to steal my fucking house key. If you got away with that, you would have come in and stole anything you wanted. Right? What part of I know you're a kid, but something tells me they sent him over to do that. No, like, why would a little kid think of that? I mean, maybe they do. I mean, kids are kind of a piece of shit sometimes. They're innocent, but they're still evil. You can be evil and be innocent, right? You're not really accountable till you reach adulthood and you have full consciousness and you know what you're doing is wrong. Sometimes kids just do stupid shit, but I think they sent him over to do that because they were all in on that shit. Had to be, especially the older one who's in his teens. He thought he was a thug or something. But we also had shit like the basement window. It's one of those small windows. That had a rock thrown into it for some reason when we weren't even there. We were gone for Halloween or some shit. It was some holiday. Come back and there's the trash bin. You throw your trash in it, you roll it to the side of the street. That was pushed up because the house was kind of elevated, like the foundation was elevated. Because I guess we were near a creek and it might flood, so it's better that it goes into the basement. The trash bin was moved to where you could stand on it because we always put that in the exact same area. Well, this was in a different area and it was put right beneath the window to my room where you could look into the room. Now, we always had the blinds closed because, again, it's the fucking ghetto. Why would you not be paranoid that someone's going to steal your shit? Right? But someone was moving shit around so they could look up in the fucking window. We even had one of those doorstop sticks you stick up under the doorknob because there's a front door and a back door. My mom didn't trust the back door for some reason. Like it fucking matters. If someone wants to get into your house, they could just, well, like at least the very least they couldn't kick down the back door, but if they can come in through the front door, they're gonna kick in the front door. But then again, if they kick in the front door, someone could see that. Not that they would give a shit, but you but she had that doorstop underneath the door because just fucking people, man. Uh, so there was that. Oh, and when we lived in my step grandma's house, some guy walked through the driveway. It's a very long driveway. It goes from the front of the yard all the way to the very back of the yard to the garage, and then there's the backyard that's next to everything. Uh, some guy walked all the way through the driveway to go to the backyard. There's a fence separating the driveway from the yard. He reaches over the fence to grab my mom's bike, and the dogs are going crazy. They're like, "Who the fuck is this?" Woo! And we're wondering, like, what's going on out there? Because they don't really bark, but when they do bark, they come to the front to see who it is, not in the back. What? It's like there's nothing in the back. There's like a little stretch of woods, so they don't have anything to bark at. So this guy takes off with the bike. We call the cops. Come to find out, he loves doing this shit because he stole a cop's taser somehow. Again, more stealing shit. Why do you want to steal shit? Why do you want to steal a bike? Why is that the fucking stereotype even? Like, why the bike? What does that do for you? Oh, yeah, and then someone stole my mom's car twice. They actually, they stole it once when it was in my grandma's possession, and eventually she ended up giving it to we got it back somehow. Oh, she gave it to my mom, and then someone stole it again, but we got it back, and then now I own that car. That is an older car. It's as old as I am. It's a 97 Dodge Neon. Yeah. So, this doesn't have the most complicated security system in it. You can easily get into it, right? But it's just the fact that people wanted to steal shit just to steal shit. Because it seemed like every time someone would steal it, whoever it was, I don't know if it's the same people or if it's just a general thing. I wouldn't be surprised if it was either. But they would steal it, drive it to the city, and then just run the battery out or run the gas out, and then just leave it on the side of the street, and then the cops would eventually find it, and then we'd get it back. But it wasn't it's not a luxury car by any means. It's actually a really cheap car, even for when it was new. It's a small little sedan that's supposed to be cheap and affordable for the average American. That's what the whole idea of the Dodge Neon was. It's not some luxury thing. It's like if you looked at it now, you definitely wouldn't have no reason to steal it because it's like, why would I want that? It's got rust on it now too. It's not a Tesla. You know, so that's more stealing shit. Oh, stealing again. Poor stealing from the poor. Why? I worked at Subway. This is also the same Subway right across from the police station where the Mike Brown riots started. But this was also after the Mike Brown riots, right? So I wasn't there for that event, just for like a couple years afterwards. No, not a couple, but like 4 or something like that. But no, maybe it was a couple, 2 or 3. We'll go with that. But I had a coworker. Her name was Kelly, older lady, was going through chemotherapy. She had some severe kind of cancer. But she was a decent gal, right? She was real nice. She would leave her like a bucket, right, for charity donations because people liked her so much they would try to give her stuff. So instead of them just pass it to her, she just put a bucket on the counter so people could put donations towards her chemotherapy and stuff like that. Tell me why these young guys constantly trying to steal her money. Like it says for cancer donations, and they're just like we see him do it. It's like, why are you doing that? Like it's so tantalizing. Money, money. You're stealing from a fucking cancer patient, man. She has a port. It's like a plastic tube that she showed me. She went like this, and it's a plastic tube that goes into her fucking body to access to her heart or something. It was gross. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? This is Frankenstein shit. So you got in one scenario, two young guys tried stealing shit. I think they got away with it because it's just kind of like a what the fuck? I can't even be bothered anymore kind of thing. And another time, she's out there smoking, which, come on, you had cancer. Why are you smoking? I ain't got no pity for a fool. Like stop smoking. Uh, she's out there smoking, taking a break. I'm inside just cleaning whatever. And some guy comes in. He's like, uh, "Can I borrow some of that money?" I'm like, this is already retarded, but if you want, go ask her. It's her money. He's like, oh, okay. He goes over to the door, opens it, says something because I can't tell. It's too far away. And then she says something to him, and he comes back and he said, yeah, it's fine. So I'm like, all right. Comes in, takes some of the money, leaves. And then as he's walking away, I'm like, this ain't right. No. It doesn't make sense. She's nice, but she's not that fucking nice. I go out there, I'm like, did you tell him he could take that money? She's like, what? She goes after his ass. There's a little cancer patient lady chasing after him, and he's like, no, no, no. She catches up to him. He's like, no, 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 don't tell anyone. I'll go to jail or some shit. The police station's right across the street from Subway. We could literally just call the cops and they'd just walk over. We've done that. Do you know how many fights happen in Subway over nothing? It is so fucking stupid. And here's the thing. I don't know if this is the ghetto, or if it's just St. Louis, or if it's just Ferguson, or if it's just America, or if it's just fucking people in general. But people want to start shit for nothing. Oh, you had this one fat bitch. That's what she was. She was the fat bitch. She always wanted to start shit. I am doing what I'm doing at Subway, trying to sort the vegetables or whatever. She comes in to order a sandwich, and I'm like, all right, hi, welcome to Subway. Probably didn't say that. I was like, what can I get for you? Because you know where you're at. Why I gotta tell you? Oh, welcome to Subway. Oh, thank you. I didn't know that. Oh, what a revelation. No, it's like, what would you like? Uh, so as I'm making her sandwich, she's like, you don't talk much, do you? I'm like, no, I've always been the quiet type. She's like, oh, we gotta fix that. Like getting irate with me. I'm like, what? She goes outside to talk to my boss, the older Pakistani guy. Actually, I kind of miss them in a way. I don't know how they put up with all this shit. But it was an older Pakistani couple that owned the Subway franchise, Miss Shaheen and Mr. Rafiq. I wonder if they're still around anymore. They're already kind of old when I worked there, and it's several years afterwards. So, she goes out to bother my boss while he's on his smoke break, to like rat on me, like, oh, he's not talking, he's not being my friend, and he basically just tells her to calm down. It's fine. And she comes back in, and she don't really do nothing anymore. I don't know if that was something with Subway, or just the ghetto, or whatever the fuck. I'm not your friend. What the fuck? Why do I gotta act like Kelly's nice? Because that's who she is. But that's not me. I don't like you. I'm not rude to customers. I'm like, what can I get for you? I'm straightforward, to the point business. Like, what would you like? You like this? You like that? 10.95. Have a good day. Business. No emotion, no attachment, no ego. And then another guy, an older guy. This is what sucks. I was 18 when this was happening. When I was working at Subway. Fucking older guy, twice, 3 times my age, comes in. I'm like, what can I get for you? And he's like, what? No hello? I'm like, what? He's like, you know what? And then he just leaves. He storms off. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't do nothing. Oh, and then that fat bitch again. So because we're across from the police station, there's a bit of a line. People getting sandwiches and shit. She's in the line, and you can tell that these two guys are cops. They don't got their uniform on, but they got the suit on. One guy's got his head shaved. He's clean. He talks articulate. You know, he talks like a cop would. Sir, yes, sir, no, sir, type stuff. Uh, so we know they're cops, right? She buys her sandwich, goes back, and just like starts hitting on this other gal. Like, just all of a sudden, it's like, what the fuck, out of nowhere, like spontaneous combustion. Like, damn. Um, and the cop looks over because I was getting ready to ring his shit out. He looks over like, oh, fuck. And he goes over and like, sit down, and like pushes him aside and like makes him sit down and shit. And then when they're all talking out and doing all this shit, at some point the fat bitch gets up and is like, "Hey, you guys are gonna vouch for me, right?" And me and my coworker look at it like, "Bitch, what?" It's like, what? No. A lot of this centers around Subway because when you're at school, you don't gotta associate with the public, but working at a fucking restaurant in the ghetto will make you fucking realize. Um, One time I was taking the trash out, right? And there's this hill. It's a street that goes up. It's right next to the shop. Uh, and I'm taking the trash out to the dumpster. And as I'm walking away from the dumpster, there's kids up on the hill. It's like, I fucked your bitch. Two little girls saying this to me. I'm like, you're not even. You know how depressing that is? Like, I can't just do my job. I got some fucking kid screaming some inflammatory shit at me. And I don't know if it's because I'm white. I don't know if it's because that's just what they do. I feel like they just do it to everybody, honestly. I'm not going to say, oh, it's because I'm white. No, that's stupid. They think they do it because that's just what everyone does and they think it's fucking normal. Right? Or like I'm biking to work. You know, they get to Subway. And then just someone just drives alongside me and is like, yeah, my boy, you do that shit, yeah. Just like scream random shit at me, like trying to be funny or something. And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know what's happening. Yeah, people like doing that for some reason. They'll drive by, scream some shit, and drive away. Uh, Speaking of which, heavy traffic time over in the Delwood area at a major intersection. I'm getting ready to turn off to go home or something. And some guy pulls up next to me. Two guys in a car. The windows, I think, are blacked out, essentially. Rolls down the window. He's like, hey, are you Brian? And I'm like, huh? Like, are you... I can't tell if he was saying Brian or Brian. And I kept saying, like, what? I'm like, no. I guess not. No. And he's like, oh. And then just, like, speeds off. Going through all the traffic like a fucking moron. It's like, what was that? I don't know. It's crazy shit. People, speaking of driving, people also don't let other people on the fucking highway. Like 270 is always some fucking accident, right? This is Highway 270. I guess it's where majority of people take their commute at. They don't let people on the highway. I've seen accidents happen right in front of me. Like I'm on the highway, you know, it's a 4 lane going one way, 4 lane going another way. I would stick to the more right-handed lanes because I would actually let people on the highway. I would slow down just to let people on because I was sick of this shit. But people would be trying to get onto the highway and people would actively try to keep you off the fucking highway. I've had shit happen right in front of me and I'm like, holy shit, that could have been me. Or like I'm sitting on top of the overpass bridge, whatever, it has a sidewalk and I'm looking down and there's like a car trying to get on and the other one won't let him on. He's about to run off the fucking road. It's like, what the fuck? Just let people on. No consideration for your fellow man. It don't matter what they look like. Don't matter how much money they got or whatever. Just treat people with respect. There's no empathy. There's no fucking code of honor. There's nothing. In the ghetto, it's steal, kill, and destroy. That's what it is. Kids throwing rocks at our house. Why? I don't know. I don't know who the fuck they are. You know? What's another thing? Another thing at Subway. This one gal had schizophrenia or something. She wasn't a bad person, but you could tell she was tripping on something. I don't know. I don't know if it was drugs or if it was actually schizophrenia. She'd come in, order something, be real nice, whatever. And as soon as she sits down, she starts screaming at shit that's not there. It's like, oh my god, dude, someone help her. Put her in a fucking hospital. Get her off the streets. Uh, I don't know if she was homeless or not, but uh, this one homeless guy. He came in rarely, I guess, to sit down and just I don't know. People treat these restaurants like it's public property. It's like no, you're in there to buy food and get the fuck out. Stop hanging out in these. This is not a community place. Go home. Go the fuck away. Uh, but he would come in just to have a place to sit. He smelled bad, but I guess we ignored it. This dude got hit just trying to cross the street, and the person who hit him drove off. That happens constantly. People get hit, and it's a hit and run. Da 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 da. Kids getting hit. Kids getting shot because it got in the crossfire. Um, Speaking of crossfire, gunshots constantly. You know, I'm sitting there trying to go to bed at night and just hear pow, 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 pow in the distance. It's like, stop, man. It's either somebody's fucking around or someone's getting shot, dying. More than likely the latter, because that's just how St. Louis is. It's one of the more violent cities. I think it was like third at some point for most violent cities in the U.S. I think New Orleans is on top of that now or some shit. But um, so there's that. What else? Well, something else from Subway. Oh, this one fucking crazy guy comes in all wide-eyed. I don't want to hurt nobody, but I need a sandwich. Like serious. Like so he's tripping on something. Again, we're right across from the police station. You have to be extra fucking stupid to be trying to rob the Subway. We don't know if he's got a gun or anything, but he's like threatening to rob us. I'm like, all right, what kind of sandwich would you like? And while I'm doing the sandwich, you know, obviously my coworker's calling the cops. I'm getting to do a sandwich. I think he's just making shit up just to make me make a sandwich. Cops come in and they're like, they say his name. I don't remember what his name was, but they say his name like they know him. And they act like, oh, I didn't do anything. I don't know if he wanted to get arrested, but I don't know. He was crazy, man. He did that twice. Uh, well, I guess because that police station, that's where the Mike Brown riots started. I only worked at Subway for a year, but they had maybe it's like an annual thing that they come back for his like uh, I don't know what you call it, like an anniversary of his death or whatever. And these people aren't even from fucking St. Louis. They're not even from Missouri. They're from all kinds of places. And then they sit there in the parking lot of the Subway and the little stores at the little outlet area. Like they own the place. And then they sit in the Subway and they don't buy anything. They just expect like they own the place. And then I'm like trying to work. You have actual customers trying to come in, which is stupid. If I saw a crowd like that, I'd be like, yeah, fuck that. There's some shit going on. You have customers still trying to come in, and then you have these people in the fucking way. It's just fucking crazy shit. I don't get paid $8 an hour to fucking deal with this shit. You know, this is back in 2000 whatever, so $8 an hour was like the minimum wage. That ain't shit. So if you're getting paid $8 an hour in 2024, you're getting robbed. Uh, but what was it? Oh yeah, the fucking like, I guess they're like protesters or something. I was like, what are you protesting? He's dead. Like, what do you want? People, it's so stupid. People die every day in St. Louis from the same exact shit that happened to him. What was special about that scenario? No, it was all bullshit. It was the media, right? It was George Soros and the fucking people always want to start shit. They want to incite riots and start wars so they can control the fucking situation. That's a different topic. Uh, but them fucking protesters are sitting there. I'm trying to do the necessary tasks. Some going to the trash to pick up stuff, and they're like in a little group in one area. But when I walk past, they get real quiet. Don't let them hear what we're talking about. It's like what? What? It's stupid. And then at one point they start a fight with some guy. Like some guy, he should have just kept his mouth shut. He was an actual customer. He wasn't a protest or whatever. But he's like, "Don't worry, we're here to actually do do." He said something smart. I think he said like these people. You don't say that. When you say these people, it's like you talking about because I'm black. Like, duh, don't say that. Just don't say anything. Why did you come in here if you're gonna start some shit? But he came in there, said some shit, and some protesters like, "What you say?" And then they get up in each other's face, and then it's all a big debacle and constant fighting. And that's another thing about the ghetto fighting. It's like fucking tribal shit. Like, yeah, the fall festival that happens in the fall. This is in Ferguson. The Ferguson Fall Festival. It's more like the center kind of part of town. Where like there's a parking lot. It's big enough to have some stands for food, concessions. They used to have like little rides for the kids, but it was more just about like music and food. Someone got in a fight there. 80% of the people at the fall festival circle around and like, ah! And it's the dumbest fucking street fight, ghetto shit, throwing haymakers 100% of the time, pulling each other's hair. It's so dumb. It's not that interesting. But to them, it's the world. Like, oh, a fight. How interesting. And it's psychotic almost. Like brainwashing. Like, it's what the fuck? It's just something about fighting in the ghetto. It's gladiator shit. I don't know. It's not that interesting. Fighting is not interesting. Unless it's like articulate like martial arts. It's like, oh yeah, it's almost like an art form. But street fighting is just stupid. They're probably fighting because again, the ego. Right? And then I guess that would be the big topic. Like what is the problem with the ghetto? It is ego. Right? Might have said this earlier, but I'm going to say it again. It's not your fault that you're suffering, or even if it legitimately is not your fault for suffering, at least do what you can to minimize it. If you have to leave, leave. If you don't like your country, fucking leave if you can, or try to change it. Don't blame other people and then expect something free. Nothing is free. Nothing. No thing in this world is free. Nothing. Energy ain't free. Well, I mean, electricity, I think, could technically be free, but that's a fucking different thing. Jesus' death wasn't free. Salvation ain't free. Someone had to pay the price. There it is. Nothing's free. Don't expect free shit. I don't like free shit because it seems like a manipulation to me. It's like, okay, you're giving me this, but why? What's the catch? Right? One of my jobs, they're trying to say, oh, it's they always do this shit. They get you in for the IRA or the health insurance package or whatever, but it's from a different company. The company has to come in and talk to you about it. They got to sell it to you, right? But you still have the choice to say yes or no. But majority of people say yes, right? But when you say no, it's like, oh, we'll sign here to prove that we offered it to you. I'm like, why do I got to sign anything? I said no. Leave me the fuck alone. Let me work. But they said, oh, well, it's this thing. I don't remember what they were trying to offer me. But they said, oh, it's free. I'm like, nothing's free. Nothing. I don't believe that. That is a lie. I don't know. It's stupid shit. But yeah, it's ego. Dads not taking care of their kids so that the kids don't have they do not have a proper reference for masculinity. So they grow up with these single moms. The moms are stressed out, too busy, they go to work, so now the kid's stuck at school, and then they go to daycare, and the mom's not actually taking care of him. The kids are not being raised by families, they're being raised by the system. What does the system want? They want bodies, they want numbers, right? The system don't give a shit. They know what the problem is in the ghetto and black communities and just everywhere, right? It's a control scheme. That's why Hollywood, okay, why are a majority of these fucking rappers and shit always talking about money, sex, drugs? It's just carnal shit. Why is it degenerate shit? Because it's a false version of masculinity, like being big. I like pussy. Well, I certainly hope. Why do you gotta tell me about it every time? Why does every fucking rapper gotta talk about a woman's vagina? It's not the most interesting thing in the world. It's a hole. Get over it. If a guy is talking about the vagina that much, you're probably a closet gay because you're trying too hard to seem straight. But why is it that like rap or hip hop or whatever, that whole just the general culture of it, why is it like that? Because again, it's the false masculinity. You seem big, you seem like you're a man, but they deep down inside they're fucking insecure as fuck because they never had a dad. And even if their dad was there, he was probably a piece of shit. Probably a drunk or a crackhead, a punk, whatever. He didn't fucking do what he was supposed to do. So the kids grow up insecure. Hollywood knows this. They take advantage of it. What happened to Motown? What happened to jazz? What happened to class? Black people didn't act like that. They weren't thugs. Black people are not thugs. Black people are not gangsters. It's this stupid control scheme shit that's being put onto them. If you turn the TV off, turn the internet off, and just let people do their own thing, they will eventually, I think, figure it out. Might take a couple of generations, but they'll fix some shit. They'll create their own culture. They'll do their own thing. They can do it. Just give them the space to do it. Leave them the fuck alone. If you have to wall people off and say you cannot leave this area until you can prove to us that you can do the right thing, they'll figure it out. It's just, and if they don't figure it out, they'll kill themselves. And then you won't have to do anything. Right? So that would be the general overview of like why it is the way it is. It's ego, people not doing the job right. Can I think of any other stories? I'm drawing a blank. There's probably more. I'm going to try to keep this video under an hour. I know people like these kind of videos where we just sit here and talk about shit. I don't know. I can't think of anything in the next minute or so. I'll probably end the video. But, yeah, just in general, the ghetto's a piece of shit. Right? Ain't nothing there. Worse yet, because of St. Louis, it's in the Rust Belt. So it really depresses me when I see worn down warehouses or buildings, just dilapidated shit. Kinloch, mentioned earlier, was actually pretty good back in the day, in the 60s or something. It's like all black-owned businesses. It was all right. Something happened, and it went to shit. And what's the thing? It's it's the white man did it. Well, I don't know that. I can't prove that, and I can't deny it. But when people always start pointing the finger, it sounds like ego to me. Like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. How do you know? Show me the evidence, right? And if anyone claims not to be racist from the ghetto, you're delusional. Everybody's racist. I don't give a shit what color you are. Everybody's fucking racist. I heard the craziest shit. Right? Like if there's a fight, it will always come back down to what race. Oh, you're from that race. It's like, why can't you just talk to me like a fucking person? Why do you got to denigrate me to the stereotype? I'm not even doing the stereotype. Stereotypes exist because you perpetuate it. You wonder why people treat you like shit? Because you're doing stupid shit that makes them go like, oh yeah, he's like that. First impressions are everything. Just don't act stupid. That's all there is. Um, yeah, Kinlock was actually pretty decent back then. Right now, ugh, there are potholes so big in Kinlock, you think a mortar went off in that shit, like a fucking bomb or something. Your fucking car will get stuck in it. Uh, Apartment buildings, trees growing out of them. There's like hills of tires or some shit for some reason. There's people just throw trash everywhere. But like I said before, it's nothing but trees because nature's taking it back. So in a weird way, and because there's no one that lives there, it would almost be the best spot to build a homestead. Just go off in the woods somewhere and just build like a homestead in the woods. No one's gonna go there. I don't know. It's strange. But Ferguson, the middle of the town actually looks kind of decent. Uh, they it's a lot of face, right? They put a lot of face into the way things look. Like, oh, look at this building. They kept up the building. It looks nice. The streets look nice. You got the little islands in the middle with the flowers and all this shit. Dude, all you gotta do is just drive down a couple blocks away from it, and you'll find abandoned houses and fucking stereotypical ghetto shit. It's not great, you know. And just people have no respect for themselves, so they can't respect other people. And again, drug addiction, shit like that. Purify yourself so you can purify everything around you. Uh, uh, oh, this isn't like a huge story, but I went to the gas station one time to get something. I came out, and this guy's like, and I think it's like in the summer or something. I mean, it's night, but it's not that cold. Guy comes in, he's like shivering. He's like, "Hey man, can I borrow $5?" I'm like, "Sure." He's like, "Thank you." And I leave out there. I'm like, that dude was jonesing on something. He's no, and then that's another thing is you want to be charitable, but you don't know who's lying, right? You ask them if they're on drugs. You think they're gonna tell you yes? Probably not. Uh, so like, there could be someone on the side of the street asking for money, but you don't know if they're gonna spend on alcohol, drugs, prostitutes, or they could just outright be lying. They could live down the street in a house, right? There's a main intersection, you get off the highway to go into the main slice of St. Louis, like where the tall buildings are. Um, and there's a stoplight, right? There's like a group of homeless people, supposedly, uh, asking for money. Like they'll go around to each car and like ask for money while you're sitting there. So it's kind of weird because why would you approach me to ask me for money? Well, I thought homeless people are supposed to sit there with a sign saying, da 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 da, anything appreciated. But you coming up to me is like it's almost like a car salesman, used something salesman type thing. They knock on your door, whatever. It's like, why do you want to approach me? It seems kind of aggressive, right? Uh, but he was getting ready to approach my car. Light turns green. I fucking like almost floored him. I'm like, get the fuck away from me, because I don't know what he's gonna do. You can't trust anybody, and that's another thing. If you're gonna learn something, if you ever want to go to these fucking slices of paradise, learn this. There's an unspoken rule. No one taught me this. I just watch people. I learned this. So you got a street, whether it's got sidewalks or not, don't matter. If you're walking on the side of a street, if you're walking one way and there's someone on the same side walking towards you, one of you has to cross. You cannot walk near each other, right? This happened, I don't know how many times, but the person walking my way would always cross away from me. I think, like, what? Does he not like me? Does he think I'm a threat? You know, I would have been like a teenager or some shit at that time. But no, it's you just don't want to be near one because you can't trust anyone. You don't know what's going to happen. You can be minding your own business and you could get shot for no reason because someone's tripping on something. Or they might talk shit, just start some shit. Or ask for money. Or take your money. You don't know. It's just how it is. It's just general piece of shit. Oh, another thing. So I didn't realize this until I moved out. The area where I live, I'm like 3 hours. I'm still in Missouri, but I live 3 hours away from St. Louis. Uh, since basketball is such a big thing in the ghetto, right? You get used to hearing the bing, 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 the ball hitting the pavement and shit. But I hadn't heard that in years because, I work. I'm not around schools. I'm not around playgrounds or sports centers or whatever. So I don't hear that noise anymore. I'm sitting in the Walmart parking lot and I'm waiting on my neighbor to go in and get his stuff. And then I keep hearing this noise, ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, fuck, what is that noise? It was legit pissing me off. And I look over and it's just some guy bouncing a basketball. I'm like, why did that enrage me? Was it like the repetitive noise of it or whatever? No, it's because it's a fucking basketball. It makes a particular noise when it hits the pavement. Because it reminded me of living in the ghetto. I associate that noise with my time living there. Or another noise, right? People turn the stereos up so fucking loud, and it ain't just the ghetto. They do this. They do this everywhere, fucking now. Tune their stereos and their cars up so much that the bass rattles the walls, rattling my fucking windows in the middle of the night. Again, these houses are like not even 15 feet apart. The yards are maybe 20 feet from the road. There's no sidewalks. So everyone's so crammed in, but you got the fucking bright idea to play your music that loud. You are retarded. I don't give a shit who you are. Again, there's no lack of respect. Lack of, hey, maybe I should just be quiet. If it was the daytime, maybe you could get away with it. But nighttime, people are sleeping. Just shut the fuck up. You know. Oh. If there's a yard where someone leaves all their like kids' toys, the bikes, they just leave shit in the yard. It's just clutter. It looks trashy. Those are the ones that steal shit. More likely, that shit that's in the yard is not theirs. Right? Because you don't leave shit in your yard. You don't leave shit on your porch. You don't leave shit in your backyard. Everything you own, you put in the house or the garage, or wherever you can put it under lock and key. Because if you don't, that shit is gone. It doesn't matter. If it's a bike, a fucking garden gnome, fucking flower pot, it don't matter. Or even if they don't steal it, they'll just break it. Just for shits and giggles. But like I said, the people who have shit in their yard are the ones that are doing the stealing. Because no one wants to steal from them. I don't want your shit. I had my own shit, but you just took it from me and you just put it in your yard. And it's probably some fucking kids. Actually, it was that same house we lived in well, no, actually, this was a different house. I lived in a different house. It was in Calverton Park, which is like a really tiny town. I mean, these towns are all right next to each other, so you can't tell which one it is and which one ain't. But Calverton Park's right between Ferguson and Florissant, right? When I was living in that house, there's these kids, and these were the ones that were the troublemakers, more than likely. Probably mom had like 6 or 7 of them. and they all got to fuck around and do stupid shit. Uh, what was it? I was walking my mom's dog, right? And they're playing down on the street, and it's a thoroughfare, so it's not like it's a dead end street. You know, there's cars constantly coming in. You got to watch out for them. Uh, I'm walking back towards the house, so I have to cross between them and the, you know, I gotta, they're playing, and I gotta cross through their little play area. So when they see me coming, they kind of like separate or whatever. But before I had been there, they're, you know, talking, making noises, whatever, doing whatever. But when I walk by, they get real quiet. Like, who's that white guy? Right? And my mom's dog started whining at me. He doesn't do that. It's weird because he's like a little rat terrier, but he's kind of stoic for some reason. I don't know if he took that from me or some shit. Um, but he just we're walking through this area, and he looks up at me and goes, like, what? What happened? It's because he could feel their fucking like envy or aggression or some shit. They did not like me, those kids, but I didn't do nothing. So again, it's just you have something I don't. You're not me. I want this. I'm gonna steal your shit, or I'm gonna fuck with you. And it's just constant clawing. Yes, yes. Crab in the bucket shit. Right? That's what the ghetto is. It's a crab. It's a giant bucket full of crabs. And if one motherfucker's getting out, pull his ass back down. He don't deserve shit. Uh, so shout out to anyone who fucking made it out. You know, don't place yourself in that bubble. You know, a battery at 50%. Uh, what else? I don't know. I think I've kind of summarized it a few different times. It's just a general piece of shit. Uh, being white specifically didn't really have much of an effect on me. In fact, some people knew me in school, and I didn't have an idea who the fuck they were. It probably helped I was blonde hair, blue eyed. There's like, oh, you got pretty eyes. I'm just saying like this. These black ladies in their like late 30s and 40s trying to hit on me because I got blue eyes and blonde hair. Like, oh, you got pretty eyes. I'm like, it's not that interesting. It's just a different color. Tomato, tomato. I don't give a shit. I see this face in the mirror every day. I don't like blondes. They smell bad. I'm not kidding. Don't try it. I know there's some of you guys out there that are like, oh yeah, that's a blonde bitch. She probably no. They smell horrible. Don't get up in that shit. You'll probably catch something. Uh, I speak from experience. But yeah, that's kind of it. This self-hatred, because you hate yourself, you can't love anybody else, so it's just tear it all down, burn this bitch down, burn the Little Caesars down that had nothing to do with the situation. Yeah, that's what they were doing to the Mike Brown riots, was just burning random shit. Didn't have anything to do with nothing. Why would you burn down the Little Caesars? Granted, they rebuilt, but why? Why do you want to do that? Why do you just want to destroy shit? Why can't you be creative? Anytime you are creative, it's degenerate. But anyway, I think I'm going to end the video. I don't even know if I'll be able to upload this because it's an hour long. I don't think I've uploaded an hour long video. There might be a limit on it. I might have to break this up into different parts. I don't know. But yeah, shout outs to anyone who made it out of the ghetto, wherever the ghetto is. East, west, north, south, central, don't matter. Don't go back. You don't own anybody's shit. If they were too stupid to leave, fuck them. Like straight up, I don't talk to my family anymore because they're too stupid to leave. I keep telling them, you know it's bad there. Just get out. Yeah, I had to live in my car for a few months. I didn't have to, but I did it just to save money. I moved out of St. Louis, lived in my car for a bit. Worked at a bakery, saved up a bunch of money, and then I moved into an apartment. It's the same apartment I'm in right now. It's a small little thing, but it's all I really need. You know, I don't know why people want to stay in the ghetto. Oh, I gotta make that money. You what? There's no money out here. There's money everywhere. You just gotta be creative. Go look for it, man. It don't have to be in a big city. Fuck the big cities. Where there's more people, there's more bullshit. Fuck people. All right. I would not mind a little bit of cleansing happen in this world because people are just retarded. And I might, again, this could just be an American thing or a growing up in a big city thing. Maybe there's other people in other countries that aren't that bad. I don't know. I just know that maybe I've been traumatized, but I fucking, just living in that fucking city made me just vengeful. Okay. I actually had fantasies about going fucking crazy. Not school shooter crazy, but like fucking Ted Kaczynski all the way. Like Ted Kaczynski was gonna be proud of me. He's gonna think I was crazy. Like if Ted Kaczynski thought I was crazy, you know there's a fucking problem. I was gonna start like okay, so because there's so much bullshit in the ghetto, I thought, okay, no one's doing anything to correct the situation. So what if I just start carrying guns and shit? Go full on Punisher, fucking whatever. Just wear a black leather jacket or a trench coat with guns and shit. And if someone says some dumb shit, even not to me, just to anyone, if I see someone fight over some stupid shit, I'm killing both of you. If I see you say some arrogant shit, I'm killing you. And that was my fantasy, was just to start killing people. Just to make something change, man. But then again, I probably wouldn't change nothing because that happens every day. People shooting each other, people killing each other. I just would have been part of the problem. So what's the solution? Leave. So again, shout out to anyone who left. Don't let it turn you into something you shouldn't be. Don't become a murderer. Don't become vengeful. Shed the ego. Get rid of that. Recognize that you're not that special. You are one out of many. You have a role to fill. Right? Purify yourself. Correct yourself. Do the right thing. You already know what it is. Don't pretend. Don't make shit up. Don't lie. Don't cheat. Don't steal. Don't be arrogant. Be humble. Just help out your fellow man when you can. You don't gotta be a fucking Jedi. You don't gotta be. You don't gotta give all your money away. Just do what you can for yourself that's necessary, and then help other people do the same if they want help. Although I will say, majority of times I tried helping people, it seems like they don't want it. So then I just waste my fucking time. There it is. I'm gonna end the video. Maybe this will catch. Maybe I'll probably start making more videos. I've been meaning to do this for a long time. It's just make videos about talking about shit. Experienced shit, not just my opinion necessarily, but stuff that I've been through, because that's more real. Is that if you've been through it, then you're relaying information to other people who haven't been through it. So then there's something of value there. Opinions, a lot of talk. Who fucking cares? I don't want to listen to your half-hour video about your fucking opinion. You tell me what happened. Like, what actually? Did 2 + 2 = 4? Good. So, anyway, maybe there'll be more videos out there like this. I know if you look at my channel, it's like I just stream video games and shit, or I make stupid shit. It is what it is. I got no consistency. None. I don't do YouTube for money. This will not be monetized. I don't want your fucking money. I don't want YouTube's money. That's a control mechanism. They wiggle that dollar in front of your face so that when you break the rules, they can rip it away from you. And you go, no, no, please. Please give me the money back, please. Fuck your money. And fuck money in general. I don't need money. I just need value. I need the spirit. Yeah.